Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines today. We got a good one lined up. Crypto bubble, inflation, flare news, Binance and Forbes, Super Bowl. How about Crypto Bowl? iPhone and crypto, Navin, Gupta, Ripple, Gary Vaynerchuk, and NFTs. Oh, things are heating up. SEC, an executive order. What may they have in common? We'll go over it. An XRP price, $1 breakout soon. Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I have done this before, so forgive me. You would think that I wouldn't be making as many mistakes as I do some mornings, some days. But here we are. It's February 10th, 2022. Happy afternoon, everybody. $2.14 trillion is where we are. $2.14 trillion. We are off by 135% here. The market is coming off a little bit of a sell-off. I don't want to say taking a breath because we know that our brothers out here in the world, Steve Gulbranson, he doesn't like that when we say taking a breath in the market. So we'll say a little bit of a sell-off. 44,500 for Bitcoin, Ethereum's 3,100, and we see XRP in number 6 spot, still at 42% gains right here. XRP is holding its own at 85 cents. Cardano is $1.17. Solana's $109 and change. Right now, the range of price, 84 cents on the bottom, 90 cents on the top. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Mark Phillips. Shout out to you, Mark. The crypto hype bubble will burst. Crypto utility will rise. Did you buy the hype or the utility? Let use case and fundamentals be your guide to avoid getting wrecked. Mark, amazing, amazing words. You know how I feel about you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And that is a great statement to kick off the show because take a look at this. Inflation has risen 7.5% over the past year, even more than expected, and the highest since 1982, more than 40 years we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. So what are you doing with your money in order to get around that pain of inflation eating away at your dollars? Well, I can tell you what I'm doing. I'm invested in crypto. I'm invested in this. This right here. What is this? Masterworks. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a company that has become the largest art buyer in the world, spending about $45 million per month with over 320,000 investors on the platform, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the wealthiest people in the world have been doing forever. And now we have a chance to invest just like the wealthiest people in the world without breaking the bank. And they do it because the art market, like inflation and NFTs, is not impacted in a negative way. In fact, quite the opposite. And you look right here, this website is amazing. What they offer is amazing. I told you I've invested in a Christopher Wool. I've also invested in a Banksy right here. I'm going to be continuing to invest here. Look at these appreciation to similar works, 31%. And you want to talk about the returns on the S&P? And what your dollar returns are in a savings account? Now I can diversify out of the high risk of crypto and get into something like fine art, blue chip art, investment art. Come on, man. And this is 89% progress to being filled right here. So once these slots are filled at $20 a pop, by the way, it's very affordable. $20 a pop, 89%. When this is all filled up, you won't be able to participate in this particular painting anymore because it will all be taken. This was at 85%. I mean, the returns are pretty remarkable. 20%, 20.5 here, appreciated similar works for Banksy. This is really exciting to me to be able to affordably invest into artwork like the wealthiest people in the world and begin to take some of my crypto gains out of the high risk investment of crypto and put them into something that is diversified with a much more solid return and not as volatile for sure. Look right here, we got some Flare news, and what's been volatile about them is the launch, not launch, launch, not launch. But eventually, I think this is going to be pretty amazing. And I know that it has got to be very difficult with the lack of clarity as well, hanging over the entire space. But they say right here, say hola to Hola Finance, because they, in fact, are pleased to partner with them to support customized lending networks, further expanding the suite of DeFi products available on Flare. That is really going to be something when it gets off the ground. And I do believe that a lot of that is being hindered by regulation. I really do believe that. Take a look here, because CZ Binance, led by the world's richest crypto billionaire, is taking $200 million stake in Forbes. Come on in. The world's biggest cryptocurrency exchange is making the investment in Forbes, a 140-year-old magazine, digital publisher. And it says here the funds will help Forbes execute on its plan to merge with a publicly traded special purpose acquisition company known as a SPAC in the first quarter, according to people with knowledge of the deal. Binance will replace half of the $400 million in commitments from institutional investors announced earlier, making it one of the top two biggest owners of Forbes after its listing. Go CZ right there. Go. Now take a look at this, because talk about go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Super Bowl coming up, and this little clip here from DAI is going to show you exactly just how big it's going to be. The biggest sporting, or certainly one of the biggest sporting events of the year, most watched, and they're getting ready to be unveiling crypto to the masses. That's what this moment is going to be remembered. And that's why they're referring it here, as DAI does, as the Crypto Bowl 2022. Take a listen. Watch this.
Super Bowl 56 is the first time that cryptocurrency companies will be advertising on the largest stage in the world.
This moment with these companies buying ads in the Super Bowl sort of caps off what has been a long run-up for the cryptocurrency sector in terms of its mainstream recognition and acceptance. And now what you are going to see probably with these ads is that this is a real sort of unveiling moment for this entire sector.
I've missed out on a lot, but I am not going to miss out on this.
So, which companies are vying for Americans' attention this football Sunday? And what can we expect from the big game's new crypto advertisers?
FTX is giving away the time their ad runs in Bitcoin.
Today, watching Super Bowl commercials is arguably as much of an American tradition as watching the game itself.
So Super Bowl Sunday is the most expensive real estate on all of television. If you have a company that's new and you want to cement its brand name, like become the next Budweiser, the next Coca-Cola, you need those eyeballs.
In 2022, each 30-second ad slot went for as much as $7 million, up from $5.6 million last year.
This year, we are going to be calling this the Crypto Bowl because there are a slew of crypto companies that are going to be advertising in the game and around the game.
Crypto Bowl is a play on the dot-com bowl of 2000, which saw ads from a slew of internet-related brands, many of which went on to fail.
What we know right now is that 3 companies are going to be running ads in the broadcast of the game itself. And they're all exchanges. They are Coinbase, FTX, and Crypto.com.
Fortune favors the brave.
So far, none of those companies have shared much about their upcoming commercials.
The crypto companies have been particularly secretive about what they're going to do with their advertising this year. They definitely probably will rely on big celebrities because that seems to be what most businesses that are new try to do.
Absolutely. It's what they try to do. They attach themselves with a name brand in the sport. Like we know that, Tom Brady, we know Matt Damon, right, are 2 people of note that really are working with crypto companies. So the exchanges are going to be the focal point, and that's where everyone's going to run to. And that's why you're going to see them, because they're going to go, I don't know a thing about crypto, but if I'm seeing it during the Super Bowl, I better go to Coinbase, FTX, or Crypto.com and open an account. Isn't that right? You better believe it is. And you know what? We're all right here waiting for them to buy into the things we've been into for years. Even more evidence of what's coming regardless of the lack of clarity. Its iPhone will allow accepting payments in cryptocurrency by launching its new tap to pay feature. The goal is to enable merchants to receive contactless payments using mobile devices as a point of sale. Come on in. Even more evidence right here. I showed you guys this, but I want to show you this for a specific reason today. BlackRock, with $10 trillion in assets under management, is not only going to be offering crypto trading through the platform Aladdin that they've named, but they're also going to be doing lending off of crypto as well. Come on in. But this is why I showed it to you today, because Navin Gupta actually shared that same article from CoinDesk. And he said institutional adoption on the way. And he is on it. And Navin Gupta from Ripple is amazing, by the way. And look, there's even more good news. Look who he's hanging out with as of yesterday, or at least when he posted it. When I see Gary Vaynerchuk, who is right here in this picture, knowing he's an incredible marketer, guru, he has been huge on blockchain, especially NFTs and the NFT sector, knowing early investor in things like Facebook, Gary V and Navin Gupta arm in arm here talking about NFTs, I get real excited because I understand that the XRP ledger is extremely efficient and it costs a fraction of a penny, to move those NFTs. And when you look at this and you see that Gary V is there speaking with him, I have to say, what are we about to hear that Gary V is into? And by the way, whatever Gary V's invested in, I'd like to know about it so I can be too. This is from Ripple right here. They tie it in from NFTs to CBDCs to crypto liquidity, payments, and compliance. Our newest report provides a fresh perspective on the global use, benefits, and perception of crypto solutions. You can read more about the insights into driving the forces behind these trends. You and I already know what they are, and the truth is we're waiting for the biggest influence to come, which is regulation, clarity for this space. Because once we have it, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to transform the conversation and it's going to transform the actions of every investor after it is here. And we will no longer have to have this conversation about when clarity, when regulations. Imagine this. It has to be coming soon. Why are we getting ready to see the crypto bowl with so many people and companies putting the money from crypto companies into the Super Bowl advertising? They must know something is coming in the way of clarity. Otherwise, you just will throw the money out the window. And same goes for BlackRock. And then you have to ask yourself, just like Mark Phillips said, what are you invested in? Are you invested in the hype? Are you invested in the utility? And if you want to talk about what's getting the best utility out here, talk about these fees. Talk about what operates in a very, very efficient manner. Ethereum, $6.86 as of 6 hours ago to $75 plus for a transaction. And you know the people excited about that? The people that are actually processing transactions for you on the network. You know who were upset about it? People like me and you who have to use a MetaMask to move $5 and then we're told it's going to cost $75 to move to $5. That's not a solution for the future, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that. Looking right here, Eleanor Tarrant tells us just a little while ago some interesting insight on the administration's impending executive order on crypto from a former government official. It's more of a bottom-up approach than a top-down, meaning the agencies SEC, CFTC go to the administration and say, hey, we need an executive order. This is what we've been seeing, by the way. We just covered this morning, if you didn't see that video, of Rostin Benham in front of Congress saying exactly that to prove her point. He needs $100 million, new hires, and education to educate the people on how to enforce the space and understand it so we can regulate it properly from the CFTC. She goes on to say, so we can do the things we want in this space, devote resources, away from things that may be on the formal agenda, as opposed to admin telling the agencies what they should be doing, often executive orders are circulated to agencies for their input in advance. Any guidance in the order will likely come with the input from the National Economic Council, she says, the Treasury and the SEC. No further insight from this person on the timing of this thing, but it's likely the administration is waiting for the agency's 2 cents before releasing. But take a look at this. Remember when we saw this just 3 days ago? Breaking from Charles Gasparino. Per Eleanor Tarrant, people associated with the SEC case against Ripple believe case will stretch into the summer, but worry that the pending White House report. Now, this is a White House report he's citing here, not the executive order. So this report may be in front of the executive order dropping. We don't really know, but he used the word report. On crypto could negatively impact Ripple's case by possibly classifying XRP as a security. And what was said, we cleared up with Eleanor in DM, is that she responded and said that it wasn't specifically to XRP, but the whole crypto space, which would by default affect XRP as well. Now, the reason I show you this is because I've also been showing you, since we watched the SEC Sunshine Meeting Act, I've also been showing you the clips where they have been talking about accelerating same-day settlement using distributed ledger technology, and they have even told us they are indeed in some ways making an effort and already begun working with some of these things, which I find very interesting. The reason, let me give you this 15 seconds. We're going to talk about it here.
The ever-increasing pace of advancements in technology, including distributed ledger technology, further shortening the standard settlement cycle in the near future may be both desirable and feasible. Indeed, some such efforts are already underway.
Indeed, some such efforts are already underway. Well, this brings me back to this report right here. That could basically be a report that classifies broadly crypto as securities. And if it does, well, you know that suits Gary Gensler and his approach, but more broadly speaking, that could make problems for XRP because it sits in the digital asset realm. So you have to start asking yourself, when you hear them talk about using distributed ledger technology, and you hear the potential of a White House report, potentially executive order coming down that could classify broadly cryptos as digital asset securities, how might that affect XRP as it would other cryptos? But for this conversation, I say to myself, would that mean that Gary Gensler is going to be the one to unveil that XRP and the XRP ledger could be used for that same day settlement if it gets a security designation? Now, I don't know. And I think XRP is money. I think it is virtual currency. But I think these things happening within days of one another really become something that we need to entertain, because there's a reason that they're talking about using distributed ledger technology. There's a reason that the White House sources are saying that they think it could affect XRP negatively to Charles Gasparino because cryptos broadly could be securities. Until we know, this is where we are. But what I can tell you is, let's take a look at this, because Crypto Bull 2020 says XRP consolidating under year-long resistance. We should see it break and go above $1 very soon. You can see the chart right here. And listen, I appreciate all of these technical analysts. I appreciate all the people involved that share information, and we are on the cusp of finding out some very, very important things for crypto and Ripple and XRP. And when we do, they will be defining moments for this space and us as investors. And there will be no going back, and we won't have to discuss it anymore. And we can get on with where are we going with our money? What are we going to do with our gains? And I tell you, I've got some great things that I'm interested in that I can't wait to share with you. Hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. Share with somebody you know, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Check out all the links in the description and comment box. They're great products and specials that I use each and every day. They are trusted, vetted links, but you got to click the links to get the specials and deals. I'll catch you on the next one.